Good morning. If you're just joining us, we're going to give everyone a chance to log in. Good morning. It's nice that you're joining us today. We'll get started in just a few minutes. So roll out your mat, make yourself comfortable. Checking the sound, checking the sound. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear the sound. We'll get started in just a minute. Give me a thumbs up if you checking the sound. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear the sound. We'll get started in just a minute. Give me a thumbs up if you check the sound. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear the sound. My sound check is sound checking itself. In just a minute. Check the sound. Give me a thumbs up. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Erin. I'm coming to you live from my basement studio, Sans Salutations. It's a special space for me. It's where I practice yoga now daily. It's kind of nice to reacquaint with this space, and I welcome you into this space, and I hope that you've carved out a special space in your home where you can lay out your mat and feel really comfortable exploring the body through movement and just connecting to your practice. It's so important that we are leaning into our practice right now as things are so uncertain in the world. And it's important that we spend time connecting to what's real and what we can feel and what serves us best, rather than spending all our time in our minds worrying. It's real easy to do that. So as we break those habits and come to our mat and practice and feel the shapes in our body and feel the breath moving the energy in and out, it's a really nice way to detach from the things that can really worry you and stress you out. The theme of our practice today is one of the yoga yamas, one of the moral restraints of aparigraha. You may have heard us talk about aparigraha in our classes. And aparigraha is really about not hoarding, not possessing, not gripping and grasping. And graha, one of the root words in aparagraha, means to grab. And there are things in life that we tend to gravitate toward and grasp onto, whether it's trying to control an outcome or whether it's a material possession that we just feel incredibly attached to. A lot of times it's ideas and thought patterns that we can't seem to release. And so in the practice today, I really invite you to celebrate and honor this spirit of aparagraha. We see it happening a lot in our world right now, like in the material manifestations where people are literally hoarding supplies. There's enough to go around. The manufacturers are stocking the shelf or making the things that we need, and the stores are stocking the shelves as quickly as they can. So be gentle and kind. Know that there is enough for you. Leave enough for others. You can always go back. So just notice if you are tend to have any hoarding tendencies or any grasping tendencies with material possessions. And then just notice if in your mind you tend to recycle thoughts. We tend to hold on to the negative thoughts more than the positive thoughts. We have what's called the negativity bias, and it's a tendency to get lost in that which is most dangerous or threatening to us, because that is what requires our attention from a survival perspective more than the things that bring us joy. So can you release those thoughts? Can you create space in your mind to welcome things for which you are grateful and just really joyful moments that are happening all around us right now? The sun is shining, the birds are singing, spring is emerging from the earth in the most beautiful hues of color. Can you use that as an anchor for your attention rather than depressing news on CNN or on any of the news junkets that you tend to attach to? So how can you invite aparagraha in? Let this practice be one where you get really intimate with that yama and see how it'll serve you. So I invite you to come onto your back, lay all the way down. I'm going to sit up for a moment. Just come all the way down onto your back, extend through the arms and the legs. Maybe pick up one shoulder, slide it to one side, and the other shoulder, slide it to the other side, finding some broadness across the back body as you root into the earth. Stretch the legs out, really make the arms wide, palms facing the sky. Take up space. We are encouraged as we exit the doors of our own homes to not take up space and not be in the space of others. So when you're home and you're safe, really expand the body. Fill up the space. My readings today are from one of my favorite poets, Donna Faltz. This one is called Allow. There is no controlling life. Try corralling a lightning bolt, containing a tornado. Dam a stream and it will create a new channel. Resist and the tide will sweep you off your feet. Allow and grace will carry you to higher ground. The only safety lies in letting it all in. The wild and the weak, fear, fantasies, failures, and success. When loss rips off the doors of the heart, or sadness veils your vision with despair, practice becomes simply bearing the truth. In the choice to let go of your known way of being, the whole world is revealed to your new eyes. So allow some time for those beautiful words to settle. The yogic teachings tell us to not be so concerned with outcomes. Be concerned and connected rather with the action, not the fruits of the action. So as you practice today, try to release yourself from any expectations. Don't be so concerned about what the final shapes look like. Just be present for what the body feels like as you are twisting and moving and stretching along the way. Try not to let the results of the action be your motive. Let your motive be driven from a deeper space within you, just to be present for yourself. Feel all the spaces where the body connects to the earth. Feel yourself opening up the mind and allowing this moment to be exactly as it is. If there are any background noises or distractions, try not to feel resistant toward them. Just invite them into your awareness. If there are family members that are coming and going, trying to get your attention, again, just allow it. The more resistance we build up in our mind and in our body, the more disturbed we can get. But when we soften and open up the spaces of the mind and the body, just accepting what is, there's such a great ease in that process. So soften any tightness or tension you're feeling in the body. Imagine that you are a stick of butter on a hot summer day, just becoming one with the earth beneath you. And then notice the sensation of breath. Feel how the body breathes into the earth. How do your breaths feel this morning? Is anything jagged, shallow? Is it easier for you to inhale rather than exhale, or vice versa? And when we get curious about our breath, we do so with a compassionate awareness. We're not judging the breath or shaming ourselves for the qualities of breath. We're just noticing how the breath appears. And begin to rub the hands together, creating warm spaces, warm surfaces of the hands that we will then offer to any part of the body that is in need of that tender, compassionate touch. Just feel your own healing hands laid upon the body, offering a gentle pressure. In this time of social distancing, we're not getting all the hugs that we're used to getting. So let your own healing hands be a reminder that you are seen, you are safe, and you are loved. So we're going to begin to expand the breath. Noticing if we can invite more fullness into the inhales, expanding. And exhale deep, or letting it all go, feeling the contraction deep into the lower core. And inhale once again, filling up completely as if the lungs are going to just burst. And exhale, let it go. Just give thanks for the breath here. I don't know if you're like me, the times I've gone out to the grocery store, I find myself holding my breath, even when I'm within 6 feet of people. It's just this fear that has been instilled upon us. So be grateful that you are able to take these big, luscious, wonderful, healing, nurturing breaths in the comfort and safety of your own home. Maybe start to exhale through the mouth. Letting that exhale be a sign of release, that aparagraha, anything that's been gripping you or that you notice you've been gripping, this is a chance to sigh it out. Take 2 more big cleansing breaths like that. Last one, big inhale. Let it all go. And just take note of what inspired you to practice with us today. Create a personal mantra statement, an intention for the practice. I would love at any point during class today, maybe when you're taking a water break, for you to share your intention. Hold yourself accountable for it by putting it out into the Facebook universe. I will tell you my intention that has been guiding me through all of these changes in our life routine is I have enough, I am enough, and I am grateful. I have enough, I am enough, and I am grateful. I would love to read and hear your intentions. So before the practice is over, or maybe at the end, kindly share so we can affirm it back to you and just let these intentions fill up our universe with such wonderful and inspirational energy. Let's take a big breath into that intention. Exhale, let it go. Release your hands. Start to draw your knees in toward your chest as you roll around on the back. Maybe you're practicing on a hard surface or maybe on a nice, thick, shaggy rug. Just feel the support of the earth beneath you. And then gently start to roll up to a seated position. We're going to find a staff pose, Dandasana. Extend the legs out in front of you. Feel the sit bones root down as the energy lifts through the spine. Take a big breath in. And then float the arms out in front of you, a little seated cat-cow. You're welcome to invite micro bends into the knees if this becomes a little too stressful into your hamstrings. Inhale, open up the heart. Feel the shoulder blades squeeze together in the back. And as you exhale, round the spine and tuck the chin toward the chest as the palms connect. Inhale, open up nice and wide. Feel your heart shining. And exhale, rounding. 2 more, inviting a full articulation into the spine. Maybe rocking a little bit forward and backward on those sit bones. Take 1 more big breath in. And a full breath out. Nice. Come back to center, lengthen the spine. Hug your right knee in towards your chest. Root the foot down. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, twist to the right. So feeling long in the spinal column from the base of the spine all the way through the crown of the head. Invite the shoulders to soften and keep twisting a little bit deeper on each exhale. Big breath in. Full breath out. 1 more breath. And twist deeper. We're going to come back into center. Open up that right leg. So the foot is in the left leg. The knee comes down to the earth or to hover. Great thing about a home practice is there's always something to grab that can help you, like a pillow or a book, or maybe you have a block or some sort of blanket at home that you want to use to connect your right knee to the earth. We're going to take a revolved head to knee. So extend your left arm inside that left leg. Right arm reaches up and over to open up through the side body. So maybe you have a bind on the foot, maybe you're on the ankle or your leg, anywhere on the leg or your clothing. Just make it work for you. Remember that we're not attached to outcomes here. We're just fully present for the process, each breath along the way. Big inhale, keep spinning the ribs up toward the sky as you open up. And then release the bind. Bend your left leg, bringing your left heel to your bum. We're going to come into this pinwheel shape. Press down into your right hand and lift the hips up toward the sky. As you exhale, melt the hips back down. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, lift, open up. It's really nice psoas stretch for that left side. 1 more big breath in. Stay here for an extra breath. Keep pressing the hips forward, lifting through the heart. And then lower down. Nice. Extend the legs back out in front of you. Finding your Dandasana again. Nice tall staff pose. Lengthen through the spine. This time hug the left knee in towards your chest. Sit up nice and tall and then start to twist over to the left. Rooting down through the sit bone, lifting up through the spine. Big breath in, full breath out. If you're like me, when you've been practicing at home every day, your gaze starts to float and you notice things that you haven't noticed before. And then you start to think about all the things that need to be done or cleaned, and just let all that go. That's part of a parigraha. Just be in the moment. Be here without gripping to the dust bunnies on the floor or to these distracting thoughts. Take one more big breath. And then come back down, releasing the knee open. Extend your right arm inside the right leg. Left arm reaches up and overhead. Feeling that left arm framing the left ear. Maybe there's a bind, maybe not. Be where you are. Allow what is to be. Big breath in. Full breath out. Take one more big full body stretch. And then cartwheel that left hand behind you. Bend the right knee, bringing the heel to the hip. And we're going to inhale, lift up into that pinwheel shape, feeling that big opening into that right side hip flexor. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up, open up, shine so brightly. And exhale, release. We'll do that one more big breath in. Stay right here. Where can you create some more space in the body through your stretch? Let the breath help open up those spaces. And then come all the way down. We're going to roll right into hands and knees. And from hands and knees, we're going to make our way into our downward facing dog. So flex the feet, curl the toes under, let the knees hover. Bring your chest all the way back toward your thighs like you're about to take off in a race. And then melt the heels down as the legs straighten and your chest comes back to your thighs. As you inhale, lift the tailbone a little higher. Keep the legs straight. As you exhale, bend the knees back to hover. Inhale, lift up, lengthen through the body. Exhale, bring the knees to hover. Do that a few more times. Awakening sensations in the legs and the joints. And right here is where we'll stay. Start to walk the hands back to the feet, finding a forward fold. Inhale, root into the feet, rise up, feeling the spine lift and lengthen. Exhale, swan dive down. The heart leads you back into a fold. Halfway lift, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, bow down. Rise all the way up. And exhale, bow back down. Nice. Moving with the breath. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant the hands. Walk out to your high plank. I've been doing a lot of online classes this week, and I've been very critical of my plank. It doesn't look how it feels in my body. So I've got to let that go and just allow the feeling to be enough. So take a big breath in. Release the knees, bend the elbows as they graze the ribs on the way down. Inhale, press into the earth, feel the heart lift, shoulders melt away from the ears. Baby cobra, and then melt back down to the earth. Twice more. Keep pointing the elbows back toward the heels, keeping the arms nice and close to the body. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Feel those triceps working for you. Back to table position. Table position, slowly growing your way back to your downward facing dog. Once you arrive, take a breath in. Let a breath go. It is Sunday, so we're going to do some sun salutations to get the energy flowing through the body. So if you like to add things, jumping forward, jumping back, maybe handstands, floating, just let this practice serve you in all the ways you need it today. As you inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, step the right foot through. Find your low lunge. We're going to take the first one nice and slowly so the body feels how it feels, and you just invite safe alignment. On the next inhale, left foot steps forward, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, lift up. And exhale, melt. Halfway lift, flat back, hands come to shins, and then plant the hands. Left foot steps back to your low lunge. Then the right foot joins high plank. From high plank, hinge forward. You can keep the knees up or lower them. Elbows bend, chaturanga, as the chest comes to the earth. Inhale, baby cobra or full cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. On the inhale, left heel rises. Exhale, step through, finding your Anjaneyasana, your low lunge. Again, take time. Let the hips settle to create some space and opening. Keep pressing back to that right heel. Keep drawing the heart forward. And then step the right foot to join forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Feel free to bend the knees on the way up and the way down. Exhale, melt. Halfway lift, long spine. Plant the hands, right foot steps back. Then the left foot, high plank. Lower down, chaturanga. You guys are doing great. Inhale, open through the heart space. Maybe upward facing dog where the thighs lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Exhale, side out. One more inhale. Exhale. Then seal the lips and find a few breaths here, just letting it feel natural. When we grip onto the breath, it creates anxiety within the body. And when we're anxious, we notice that we're gripping onto the breath. So when we invite these deep, full exhalations, it releases that stale oxygen in the lungs and makes us feel really refreshed. It's a great way to release stress from the body. On the inhale, look to the front of the mat. You can either step or maybe begin to hop, bend the knees, find a little buoyancy in the joints, and just bring the feet to the hands. Forward fold. Inhale, reach up, rise up, open up, shine so brightly. And exhale, bow back down. Halfway lift, flat back. And plant the hands, maybe working on hopping back. Come onto the balls of the feet, plant the palms, and shoot the legs back. Make sure you land with the elbows bent in chaturanga. Inhale, open the heart. Back to downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. On the inhale, right leg rises. Step the right foot through. We're going to rise into a high crescent lunge. So again, find a little buoyancy as you start to establish yourself in your lunge. Bounce a little bit. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Keeping that right knee over the right ankle and really firming up through that back leg as you press into the left heel. Take a big breath in and exhale. Let it all go. Inhale, big breath through the nose. Woo! Let it all go. Two more. Inhale. Let it go. Whatever's living in you, whatever's haunting you, release. Interlace fingers right here as you're bowing down. Let the crown of the head tip down toward the earth. Try not to lose any of that weight distribution. Keep pressing into that back foot. Take a big breath in. And then spin that left heel down, staying folded. Come on down into a wide-legged forward fold with the bind. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. If that bind doesn't serve you, you can take reverse namaste or opposite elbows, or simply let the hands hang with the head. We're not attaching to any outcomes here. We're just noticing what is present in the body, noticing what feels good. Take another breath. And then release the hands. We're going to skandasana over to the left side. Flex into that right foot. You can keep the hands rooted down, or you can bring hands to heart for a little balance challenge. Really sink down deep, keeping that foot flexed. Maybe even take those right pinky toes and start to spiral them outward. Open up the spaces of that inner thigh. Take a big breath in. Let a breath go. And release the hands. Walk back over to frame the right foot. Step back to high plank. High to low. Chaturanga. Inhale, scoop the heart up and open. Back to downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. On the inhale, left heel rises, three-legged dog. Step the left foot through. Root down, rise up, high crescent lunge. Finding your little bounce. Bouncing for me always creates a little bit more space. Bounce. Bounce. Just feels good, right? All right. So take a big breath in. Side out. Inhale. Exhale. You don't need to hold it any longer. Last one, big breath in. And interlace fingers now in some different pattern. When we do the same thing all the time, it creates habits, right? Our brain starts to get wired into these shortcuts, and that's all we know. But when we make changes, it creates new neural wiring. It wakes us up. It brings us into our mindfulness practice. We notice new things. So do something funky. And then start to let that right heel melt down. Swivel into your wide-legged forward fold, keeping the arms as they are. If that feels good, maybe start to just turn to the right, turn to the left a little bit. Take another big breath. And then release the bind if you have it. Skandasana over to the right side. This time flexing into your left foot. I love using the walls down here. Please take advantage of all the tools that you have to help your practice. So flex, flex, flex. Tailbone roots down. Maybe those left toes start to melt to the left a little bit. Take another big breath. And then we're going to walk the hands back to frame the left foot. Stay nice and low. Step back to high plank. Lower down chaturanga. Inhale, open up through the heart. Release the knees down, hips to heels. Find a child's pose. This is where we check back in with that strong intuition that we hold about ourselves. You are the only one who knows what is best for you. So let that wisdom through your Ajna chakra guide you. So take the forehead and just roll it a little bit from side to side. Take a big breath in. Let a breath go. Slowly start to make your way back into table position. Flex the feet, root down through the balls of the feet, hover the knees, press back into your downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. Let a big breath go. We're going to repeat that sequence, going a little faster, adding on a little bit. So when you're ready, right leg rises, three-legged dog. Exhale, step through, rise into your high crescent lunge. Exhale, let it go. Stay folded, interlace the fingers, and then spin the back foot down, come into your wide-legged forward fold. Release the hands, Skandasana to the left side. Try something new, try something different. Maybe you lift the arms, maybe the hands to the heart if they were rooted before. And then we're going to walk back over, framing the right foot. Step right into your standing split. As the left foot rises, the heel stays lifted toward the earth, toes down toward, or lifted toward the sky, toes down toward the earth. Maybe that right hand wraps around. Maybe. Take another breath. And then we're going to rise up. Try to keep your eyes focused on one spot. Rise up. Draw that left knee in toward your chest. Take a big breath in. The right hand on the left knee, and then we're going to twist open to the left. So keep inviting length into the spinal column. Just working on balance a little bit here. Take a big breath in. Let a breath go. Come back into center. Step that left foot back, high crescent lunge. Then peel the left foot down again, this time warrior two. Feel the hips spiraling open. Feel a nice openness through the heart. Take a big breath. Flip the right palm, lift it up and overhead, exalting your warrior. Bring your right hand behind the head and press the head into the palm. Maybe that left hand stays gentle in the leg, or it can wrap around for a bind. Take a big breath in. Make sure you keep sinking into that front thigh. If you have the bind, release it. Come into your extended side angle. So that right hand can either come down to the earth, it can stay lifted as the forearm comes to the thigh. And that top hand now, your left hand comes behind your head. Press one into the other. It helps encourage a long spine, a nice posture. A little more opening into the left side body. Take a breath. You guys are awesome. Release. Come back into warrior two. Look where you're going. We're going to cartwheel the hands to frame that right foot. We're going to find a Vashisthasana, side plank. So one of my favorite transitions is take your peace fingers on your big toe and come to the outer edge of that left foot as you spin around with that leg. Once you have the leg, you can release it. You can stack it. You can even drop the toes behind you, turn it into a wild thing. So let this serve you however you need it right now. We're going to take 2 more big breaths. Keep rooting into the earth wherever you are. 1 more big breath. And back to your high plank. Lower down chaturanga. Inhale. Heart lifts and opens up wide. Back to downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in your intention right here. And let it back out into the world. On the inhale, the left heel rises, 3-legged dog, keeping that leg nice and firm. Step through, rise, high crescent lunge. Feel rooted and connected. Exhale. Interlace fingers yet in another way behind the back. Spin open into your wide-legged forward fold with the bind. Then release the bind, walk over to the right foot, Skandasana, keeping the hips nice and low. Maybe you take a twist here. Maybe just do something different, something that wakes you up, that gets your attention. And then walk the hands over to the left foot, root in, lift the right leg, standing split. And once again, just like your 3-legged dog, your hips are not rotated open here. You want that right leg to be lifted with purpose. Heel up, toes down, hips squared. If you're working on your handstand practice, root the palms down, start to do some little kick-ups if you want, or you can work on binding. Take another big breath. And then this is where we build that trust through gaze and presence as we rise up into stork pose. Remember, not attaching to outcomes. If you fell or wobbled, it's all good. Left hand to the right knee. Right hand opens up into a twist. And right there, lift the spinal column. Create space for the breath. Take 1 more big breath in. Come back into center. Step the right foot back, high crescent. Spin the right heel down, warrior two. Finding strength, finding poise. Flip the left palm, exalt the warrior. Bend the left hand, or left elbow rather, bringing hand behind the head. The right hand can wrap around for a bind if you like, or you can leave it there gently pressing into the foot or to the leg. Breathe into the spaces of the side body here. Take 1 more breath. Release the bind, cartwheel into your extended side angle. Sorry that I'm talking with my back to you, but you get to see it just from a different view. So this time, bring your right hand behind your head, press one into the other as you spin the ribs up toward the sky again. Stay deep in that lunge in the front leg. Breathe. Anything you feel really working hard right now begs for your breath. Take one more breath. Release the bind. Inhale. Back up to warrior two. Look where you're going. Cartwheel the hands to frame the left foot. Make that transition to your side plank. Again, some fun. Wrapping the big toe, the two peace fingers around the big toe. Come all the way over. Maybe you take a bind. Maybe you take a tree leg. Just have some fun. Keep rooting down into the earth, lifting the hips, take another big breath. And then come into your high plank. Release the knees. Back to your child's pose. Bringing into awareness once again the quality of your breath. Noticing how the breath feels. Noticing if the breath changed at all when you were doing your side planks. In moments of challenge, we tend to hold on, we grip that breath. But remember that in those moments of difficulty and struggle, we need the breath more than ever to be fluid and long to deactivate the stress response in the body. So bringing a parigraha into your breath practices, once again, finding that lengthy inhale, lengthy exhale. Two more, regulating the breath to regulate the nervous system. And when you're ready, we'll come back into downward facing dog. So lifting through table once again if you'd like. Rising through the hips. Inviting your chest back toward your thighs. Fingers are spread. You can even spread the toes. Take up some space in that grounding. Big inhale. Full exhale. On the inhale, right leg rises, three-legged dog. This time bend the knee and make some circles into that right hip. Then feel the hip open as the right heel draws toward the left hip. And if you want to flip your dog, gently flip. Take your time. Foot lands. Rotate your left foot so that the feet are now in line with one another. Root down through the left hand. Lift the hips evenly up toward the sky. Feel the heart open. You can turn this into a full wheel if you have that in your practice. Breathe. We're going to flip back over. So look where you're going. Hand, then hip, then leg. Back to three-legged dog. From three-legged dog, step your right foot between your hand. Rise back into your high crescent lunge. From high crescent, returning into that stork pose. Shift into the right foot. Left knee comes up. And we're going to take an eagle bind. So the left thigh wraps around the right. Left arm comes underneath the right. Create some space between the elbows and the face, drawing them away from you. Keeping the spinal column lifted. Squeeze everything into the center. Maybe bending at the knees, sending the hips down toward the heels. This is a power pose for you. This is a pose that energizes your courage and your confidence, both of which are really important right now. Helps to strengthen your immunity as well. So breathe, squeeze, be present for yourself right here in your eagle. Take one more breath. We're going to slowly start to unwind. Take that right or left leg and we're going to find a tree pose. So I'll face you and mirror you. So your left foot will come either to the ankle the calf or all the way above the knee up to the thigh, pressing your left foot against your right leg. I'm hoping it comes out as a mirror to you on Facebook. Keep lifting through the spine, crown of the head shines up as you root down. So these oppositional forces, this grounding and lifting, it's a rooting and rising. You can stay here with hands at heart center. You could take cow face arms if you'd like, taking that left arm up and over with the hands drifting between the shoulder blades, and the right arm comes up from underneath, making the bind. The foot that is pressing into the leg is using as much effort as the leg that's pressing back into the foot. So feel the hip stabilizers fire up right here. Take another breath. And then from here, release any arm bind. We'll find dancer pose. Left hand slides to the inner or outer arch of the left foot. Kick the foot into the hand. You want the knee pointing downward as you start to open up the spaces of that hip through the heart. Look and lean forward. Maybe you bend into that standing leg. Breathe. Where can you release here? What can you let go of? And then slowly let go of the grip, the bind. Come back into Tadasana. Maybe the eyes drift closed for a moment, or the gaze floats down the bridge of the nose. Giving yourself that connection to your grounding, so you remember that you are here now. This moment begs your attention. On the inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, float back into a fold. Take a ragdoll for a moment, maybe a toe bind or hands to opposite elbows, or you can bind the elbows behind the back. Whatever feels good to release the compression through the lower spine. Just let yourself fold. Maybe some deep breaths. And then bring the hands to the shins, halfway lift. Plant the hands once again. Feel free to hop back, landing in your chaturanga. Inhale, open up through the heart. Back to downward facing dog. You guys are doing great. Big breath in. Full breath out. On the inhale, left heel rises. Bend the left knee, big circles into that left side hip, releasing any tension, any gripping, any stress that you've been wearing in that left hip. Let it all go right here. And then open up through that left hip. If you want to flip your dog, I'm going to slide away from the wall a bit. If you want to flip your dog, look where you're going. Foot comes. And then you're going to rotate both feet so that they are parallel. Lift up, open the heart. Again, feel free to take a full wheel here if that's in your practice. Take one more big breath. And then look first. Rotate the hand, the hip, the leg. Three-legged dog. Step the left foot through. High crescent lunge. Feel connected. When you're ready, start to shift back into stork pose. The right knee draws up toward the chest as the posture stands tall. Wrap the right over left, squeezing the thighs together. I'll turn to mirror you. So right over left, and then the right arm under the left. So the elbows are connected, palms can be connected, but create some space, broaden through the upper back as you send the elbows away from you. Think about squeezing and contracting, dropping the toes down if you need grounding. Find the deep breath here. Feel it travel all the way up and down the body. One more breath. Then slowly begin to unwind, creating your tree pose, Vrikshasana. Maybe the right foot comes down for grounding, toes to the earth, foot to the calf. or all the way up the thigh, wherever you need to be to feel grounded and settled, stable. Push one into the other. Fire up those stabilizers in the left side. Press right on back. And then when you're ready, you can grow the branches, or you can take that cow face Gomukhasana arms, where the right arm is lifted, right fingertips come between the shoulder blades, and the left arm comes from underneath to make the bind. If you don't have a bind, it's all good. This is a side I don't have the bind. So you can use your like a towel or your shirt. We're not attaching to outcomes. Nothing, no such thing as perfection in our practice. It's always practice. So just allow wherever you are today to be enough, because you are enough. Nice and tall. And then release the arm bind. That right hand will drift down, looking for a bind on the ankle or arch of the right foot. And kick foot into hand. Start to extend the left arm and the gaze forward, looking for your back bend here. Nice. Take one more big breath. Beautiful dancers. And let go. Let go. Let it go. Come back to the top of your mat. Take a big breath in. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant your hands. You can hop back, landing in your chaturanga with the elbows bent. Take a vinyasa. Back to downward facing dog. Just taking my time check here. We are good. Take another big breath in. Let the breath go. On the inhale, right leg rises, three-legged dog. As you exhale, bring the right knee toward the right elbow, and then lower the knees down. We're going to come into a half frog shape. Maybe you bring the arms down into your Sphinx pose. So your left leg is extended long. Your right leg, in case you can't see it over there, is bent. So the right knee comes up toward the right elbow. And this is your half frog. So there are lots of things that you can do here. And this might be enough. You might be getting a really good sensation inside that right thigh. A way to make this a little bit more restorative is to come onto your belly, reach the left arm overhead, and truly bring the right elbow to the right knee. Maybe the left leg slides to the bottom right corner of the mat. And that's a really beautiful way to make it a restorative shape. If you are in the mood for something a little bit more active, then maybe you come into a seal pose with your half frog. I always imagine like a sphinx, some mythical Egyptian creature that's half seal and a half frog. Maybe we can have the kids drawing a picture of what that would look like. And we'll give it some fancy Sanskrit name. Just notice where you're feeling this in the body. Let the shoulders melt away from the ears. Soften the jaw. If it's ever too much for you, come on down. Listen to your body. Take one more breath. I'm going to guide you into a twist here. If you don't want to twist, stay where you are. Left arm will reach under the right arm. So come down to your left shoulder. Left hand finds the right knee and just presses down for a little self-assist. The right arm opens up wide, trying to get that right shoulder onto the earth. Fully aware it's probably not going to make it, but just think about it. Just think about trying to get the shoulder onto the earth, which will encourage a deeper stretch into the spine. This is a big one, so breathe into it. Breathe deeply. We'll stay here for 2 more breaths. And to come out of this, start to bring the right arm up and over, clapping with the left hand to neutralize the spine. And then press down into the right palm as you sweep that left arm back. We're going to gently press the right leg back to meet the left, back into your Sphinx pose. And right here, use that strong core and the strong toes to lift you back up into a forearm plank. From forearm plank, come into your high plank. You got this. From high plank back to downward facing dog. And just be aware of what you're feeling in the body. Where are you feeling it? How does it feel? How can the breath help to soothe out any tight spots, any sore spots? And on the next inhale, left heel rises, three-legged dog. As you exhale, gently guide the left knee toward the left elbow and release down, coming into that half frog shape, or full Sphinx, half frog. Keeping that left foot flexed. Again, I'm going to show you restorative first, because if I show you the pump up the jam first, that's where everyone wants to go. So know that there's always the option to take it down. It's whatever you need right now. So the restorative is lifting that right arm up over to the left corner of the mat, maybe sliding the right leg down to the bottom left corner of the mat, and the left elbow comes to the left knee, bringing the right ear and temple to the earth. This is so wonderful. This is how I sleep at night, in case you were curious. Now you know. It's my favorite. So maybe that's where you need to be right now. Feel free to stay there. If you want to take it up into a deeper back bend, keep the half frog in the legs, come into your Sphinx, stay there, or you can lift up into that seal pose. Again, if it's too intense, if the body is saying no, come on down, listen. When we get out of our minds and get into our body has these full conversations with us. So really, to honor yourself, be there to listen compassionately. 2 more breaths. And then release the elbows back to the earth. I'll guide you in the twist. Right arm under left, right hand to the left knee. Melt the head and shoulders down and open up into your twist. Just thinking about getting that left shoulder down to the earth. It's okay if it's not. It probably won't be. Just thinking about it. What's important here is breathing into the twist. Take one more big breath. And start to bring that left hand over, clapping with the right. Just find neutral for a moment so you're not shocking the body back into spinal alignment. And then we start to unwind. Bring the left leg back to meet the right. From here, once again, press up. Whoa, feel free to make some noise into your forearm plank. And then release the knees down. Bring them together and walk the hands back into a child's pose with the knees narrow. Narrow knee child's poses bring a soft release into the back, something that you may need after those deep spinal twists. Take a big breath in. And then we're going to come onto our backs. So let the legs swing out in front of you, and we're going to end with a happy laughing baby. You can turn this into sort of a hybrid inversion by lifting the legs up and taking a bind on the big toes. Draw the sacrum and the entire lumbar spine down to the earth to give a massage. You can come all the way over. Make sure the edges of the back are getting attended to. And then the very last thing we're going to do before Shavasana is called a progressive muscle relaxation. So it's another way to invite a parigraha into our physical body by squeezing and tensing all the muscles that we can control and then releasing them with the exhale. So release any binds, let the legs float down, come into a big X shape or a big starfish shape. So once again, take up space. We don't have any 6-foot perimeters here that we need to abide by. So really let yourself spread out. And just start to notice all the muscles that you can control in your toes, in your legs, in your glutes, your pelvic floor, your lower abs, your shoulders, your face, your arms, your hands and fingers. And what I will do is count, or I'll tell you to inhale. And when you inhale, take the biggest breath possible. Squeeze all the muscles in the whole body, clenching through the teeth and squishing the eyes even. Hold it. I'll count backwards from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And on 1, let a big breath out through the mouth and let all the muscle tension go. We'll do that twice. And on the last one, it's just going to melt you right into Shavasana. So here we go. Take a big breath in. Start to squeeze everything. Squeeze, clench. Hold it for 5, 4, squeeze, 3, 2, 1. Feel all the tension disappear. We'll do that one more time. So start to squeeze everything. Take a big, beautiful breath in. Tighter, tighter. Hold it all at the top for 5, 4, squeeze tighter. 3, 2, 1. Feel the contractions replaced by softness and ease. And allow yourself to stay right here for a few moments of Shavasana. This is Let It Go by Donna Fultz. Let go of the ways you thought life would unfold. The holding of plans or dreams or expectations. Let it all go. Save your strength to swim with the tide. The choice to fight what is here before you now will only result in struggle, fear, and desperate attempts to flee from the very energy you long for. Let go. Let it all go and flow with the grace that washes through your days, whether you received it gently or with all your quills raised to defend against invaders. Take this on faith. The mind may never find the explanations that it seeks, but you will move forward nonetheless. Let go, and the wave's crest will carry you to unknown shores beyond your wildest dreams or destinations. Let it all go and find the place of rest, peace, and certain transformation. Take a big breath in. Let a breath go. Invite movement back into your body, eventually making your way into a side-lying position, a position of new beginnings. Each day, each moment, each breath is a new beginning. It is a fresh start. It is an invitation to see something new, to build new curiosities, to experience new things. Find the hope in that process. Start to rise up to a comfortable seat, rooting down through the sit bones, lifting tall and proud through the spine. I am so incredibly grateful that you chose to practice with us today. So many other things you could have done with this hour, and you chose to be here with us. Thank you. Know that the love and the light that will continue to shine brightly within me honors and celebrates the love and the light that shines so incredibly brightly today and always in you. Namaste. So again, my name is Erin. I'm coming to you live on the Ease Yoga Cafe Facebook feed, soon to be on YouTube. Thank you so much for practicing. There are so many ways that we would love to continue to support you and your wellness needs during this time of social distancing. We are very much apart, but together in so many ways. So remember to drop your intention in the comments. I would love to see it and affirm it. If there are ways that you'd like to support Ease, we are looking to make sure our regular members are happy with the offerings that we're putting up on Facebook Live and on YouTube. So if there's something that you want from us, let us know. We're happy to offer that for you so that it can be static content for you to come back to over and over. We also ask that our regular members continue their memberships and to buy gift cards. And at the end of this tunnel, there is light, and we will always be there for you. So namaste. Thank you so much for your beautiful practice today. Bye.